What is up, everybody? My name is Anthony DeAndrea, and thank you so much for checking out this video. If you've been tuned in to me for a little bit now, you would know that I am a certified transformational nutrition coach. But what the hell does that mean? You may not know what that means, and that's okay. And that's why this video was made. A few years back, in March of 2019, my brother, Joey, sent me a podcast called the MFCEO Project. And by the name, the host is a man named Andy Frisella, who's just a total badass. He's really the one who helped me through his podcast drastically change my life. I just kind of immersed in his content, and I loved every second of it. Everybody should go check that out. The podcast is called Real AF now with Andy Frisella. Andy brought on a man named Shawn Stevenson on his podcast who wrote a book called Sleep Smarter. Now, Shawn is a fitness and nutrition expert who's been a scientific researcher for 25 years, I believe. He's had his own practice for 20 years. And he has a podcast called The Model Health Show. So I dove into that as well. His content was more geared toward like my niche, like what I love learning about, health, fitness, holistically and naturally. And I loved learning about it. I love his podcast. Everybody should check that out as well. But the point of this is because on his podcast, on Shawn Stevenson's podcast, he talked about health coaching. He had a sponsor or advertisement out talking about the Institute of Transformational Nutrition. I heard it. I signed up for the class. I enrolled. In May of 2020. I completed classes and I graduated in December. And I'm so blessed to be learning about that, to have found that institute. It's an accredited online school. It's absolutely amazing. The value they bring is, slim to none. It's phenomenal. I loved every second of it. And I specifically loved, it's super in-depth in anatomy and physiology. It talks about nutrition. It talks about physical, mental, and spiritual nutrition. Anything that you consume. Now, currently in our society, everybody's more focused on the physical aspect. The mental aspect is getting some notoriety as well, but the spiritual aspect is kind of just left on the side, not really talked about. All three are important, and all three are interconnected. Think of it as like a table with 3 legs. If one is shorter than the other or one leg's broken, the table's going to be wobbly. The table's not going to be able to stand as strongly as it could be. And that is what each pillar is: physical, mental, and spiritual. They're all interconnected. They all play a role. And my main focus is mental health. I have a blog that's about naturally and holistically healing mental health. I talk about it on my Instagram, which I'll link below, both of those. And, if you watched my intro video, you would know that as a kid, I went through a lot of trauma. Simultaneous death of loved ones, divorce of family members, just a lot at a very young age. And what I realize now is that I never overcame that trauma. I let that trauma compound. I started drinking alcohol. I wouldn't talk to people. I had shitty relationships. It was just one thing after another, and it was because I never addressed the root cause. I'll give you this example because it's an example that resonates with me, and it's one that I love. Unresolved trauma, I just got over talking about that. There's something in the brain called the HPA axis, and that's hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal glands. The hypothalamus and the pituitary gland are in your brain, and they secrete hormones. So they communicate with the adrenal glands, or the stress center of the human body, that something's wrong. That there is just there's something wrong, really. So the stress center turns on and starts releasing stress hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine, all of these stress hormones for a long period of time. As I said, it's unresolved trauma, so it's years, days, months, years. The immune system notices the chronic I guess, the chronic on switch of the stress system that's never turning off. So the immune system thinks something's wrong as well, and then causes inflammation. That's the immune system's first response, is inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the underlying cause of many, many diseases. Now, you would go to a conventional doctor about that, and they would prescribe you a medication, an anti-inflammatory, which is great. Suppressing that inflammation is needed, but that root cause is not identified. The doctor does not know that this person is going through severe trauma over and over again. That's what unresolved trauma is, living in the moment over and over again. That's what I do. I help identify the root cause, and I co-create a protocol with the client, with you, to tackle that root cause. Now here, listen, I do not diagnose, I do not treat, and I do not cure any disease. But what I do is I help guide, educate, and support you to realize the root cause, to control what you can as a human being, with your habits, your nutrition choices, your relationships, the communities that you're in, and help you tackle and overcome these obstacles. Me specifically, I am specializing in mental wellness and emotional eating, specifically because I have experience in that realm. I understand the pain that people feel when they suffer from mental illness, because I have as well. That's what I do. Now, as a coach, I meet with people on a weekly basis. I meet with clients on a weekly basis, and we set goals. We talk about their problems. There's a lot of paperwork to fill out, so we can work right away to identify a root cause of the problems that you're facing. And a lot of the times they're connected, like I just said. Like a physical aspect of inflammation is being triggered because of a mental block, because of a trauma. They're interconnected, and that's what I'm here. That's what I do. I help people identify that root cause to enhance their life. I help people get off the roller coaster of emotion, the same one that I was on, and to finally take control of their life and enhance it in any way possible through natural and holistic ways. Like I said, your nutrition's important. Movement is important. The habits that you're doing, specific habits, spiritual practices, and not something that you think like, when I talk about spirituality, I talk about your relationship with yourself, your relationship with family and friends and a community, and your relationship with nature. All of those things plays a critical role in your optimal wellness. And picking up a session or becoming a client of mine, we work to create a unique protocol for you, unique to your situation, to your goals, and help you become the best person you possibly can be. If you're interested, I link my website below for you to check it out. You can reach out to me on Instagram, comment on YouTube, subscribe to my blog and reach out to me via the blog. I'm an open book. Please reach out, and I would love to help. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope this gave you a basic understanding of what transformational nutrition is, why I'm so passionate about it, and how I could specifically help you. And if you got any value from this video, please like it. Please share it all I ask is that you share it with one family member, one friend, just one person, one like-minded individual that could find value in this video. Comment, like it. Your support is very much appreciated, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you soon.